Hey there, and welcome to the Totally First Crochet channel. And first of all, let's welcome the one and only, our special guest of this tutorial, the queen of chickmas herself, Mariah Chickey. So Mariah, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. I know you're super busy before Christmas. After the success of the Granny Square chickens, of course I had to make a super special, super festive Christmas edition. And here it is, Mariah Chickey wishing us all a Merry Chickmas. So before we dive right into this super festive Granny Square chicken tutorial, make sure to give the Queen of Chickmas a big round of love by hitting that like button. So this Christmas Granny Square chicken was of course inspired by the one and only Queen of Christmas, Mariah Carey. And this year we are also going to celebrate the 30th anniversary of my favorite Christmas album of all time. This one right here. Now you know where the reference of the thumbnail also comes from. And 30 years ago I went out to buy this record, and here's my homage to the one and only Queen of Christmas with my Granny Square Christmas chicken. Now I know this video is a little bit longer than my usual tutorials, and this is only because of some of the more advanced stitches that are used for this super festive Granny Square, and I just wanted to make sure that everything is explained correctly and slowly so you can get those specific stitches. If you're a more advanced crocheter and you know all the stitches, always make sure to browse through the chapters and then just fast forward to the next step. For everyone else, have fun with it. So let's get to it. I think it's time.
It's time.
I think it is. So let's make this happen.
You better make it happen. Ooh.
So here we go. The fabulous Granny Square chickens are back. This time in form of Mariah Chickey, wishing us all a Merry Chickmas. And first, of course, I'm going to show you what materials I used to make the Christmas chicken. First up, the yarn, and I had some Christmas yarn left from last year, and it was a limited edition from Hobby. So far, they haven't restocked this super awesome yarn. You get them in 5 colors, the white, 2 red tones, and 2 green tones, and I still had some left because I ordered quite a lot of them last year. So I'm using basically my old stock of yarn. I'm hoping and praying that Hobby will see this and will restock this yarn because it is just awesome. If not, feel free to use any yarn that you like, anything that looks Christmassy. It can have glitter in it, like those yarn skeins here, or just regular yarn in Christmas colors. You can use cotton. This is a cotton yarn. You can use acrylic. Just feel free, and just make sure that in the end your Christmas chicken looks super festive with the typical Christmas colors. Now for the beak and the comb, I once bought this interesting Lamé Rikorumi yarn. I'm not sure if you can see this. It's a polyester, of course. And I thought I would give Mariah Chickey a golden beak and a golden comb, because there definitely has to be some glam and festive appeal to Christmas. So I thought this would work perfectly. If you don't have a sparkly golden yarn like this, and then you can still do the beak and the comb in yellow or in another green or in white. Just feel free to try whatever you like. Then of course the hook, I'm going to use a 4mm hook, then some scissors, of course, then the yarn needle to sew in the ends. Then for the eyes, again, I'm using this multi-pack that I got from Amazon a while ago, but there are similar ones out there, and they even have in here some golden ones, so of course this matched perfectly to my Christmas chicken. And of course some filling for the end so that Mariah isn't whole on the inside. And we are basically good to go. And we are going to start with the quintessential thing of the granny square chicken. That is, of course, the granny square. Here I created this very festive, very Christmas looking granny square with those stars and lots of sparkles and lots of effects by having different kind of stitches. The green part again is the fun part with the series of different stitches after each other, and it's overall quite simple. It's like you don't see anything through, and this is also why for this tutorial I left all those nasty yarn ends in the bag, because they will be hidden inside of the chicken anyway, so we don't have to bother. And now I'm going to show you how to make such a super festive granny square. So to start, I'm picking my first color, which will be the dark red. And round number 1 is quite simple. We start by making a magic ring. I do it my way, you do it your way. I do as if I would do a slip knot, and then I take my end yarn and pull it through the hole here, and then just closing the slip knot. And I'm good to go with my magic ring. Round number 1, super simple, 16 double crochets, and the first one is of course a fake double crochet, and for that you go into the magic ring, grab the yarn, pull it through, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops as if you would do a single crochet, and then you go back into that front bar, yarn over, pull it through, pull everything up, yarn over and pull through, and this represents our first double crochet. So now we need 15 more to finish this first round. So you yarn over, go in the ring, grab the yarn, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and this we do 14 more times. Until you have 16. You can now close the ring, make sure to pull it tight. And now to finish round 1, I'm going to make a single crochet into the top of our fake double crochet, like this, and then I'm going to make a slip stitch into the back loop of the next stitch, like that. And now we can cut the yarn, because our first color is already done. And then you can pull the yarn through. And now what I'm going to do is to wrap that yarn around the back loops of the following few stitches. So later on we can then just cut it, and like that it is already incorporated well enough. And if your magic ring opens, I have this a lot with this yarn, to be honest, maybe because of that golden thing. Make sure to really close it well. And round number 1 is done, and we can start with the next round. For that, I'm choosing the red. And for the next round, we are doing a lot of freestanding crochet stitches, so we won't connect them in the bottom right here, but we are going to connect them freestanding. And for that, I'm making a slip knot first, because now we are doing front post treble crochets and regular double crochets all along until we have those 8 peaks that come out here a little bit more. It gets a bit 3D with those, and we are always wrapping them around some of the previous double crochets. But don't worry if you're new to something like this, it's definitely not that complicated. First up, I'm trying to find, I think it was right here, my fake double crochet. It's right here. We are going 1 stitch before that, which is right here. And now we are going to take the red yarn over, hold everything a little bit with your fingers together, and then we are going in there in the back loop only. We do as if we would be in the middle of our crochet work, and then just hold it, pull the yarn through 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. And like that, we started the round with a freestanding double crochet that also looks exactly like a regular double crochet, except that we don't start it from the bottom, but we start it from the top. And I think for this pattern, this makes everything so much more easier. And now we continue by making our front post treble crochets, and for that we are going to yarn over twice, and then we are not going in the stitch up here, we are going actually around it like this. I'll show it again. So here's our fake double crochet. We take our hook and go in there, like in the middle of our previous round, and then pull it through. So we have the stitch right here, and then we are going to place our yarn over our hook like this, and then we pull the yarn through that loop, and now we just finish it as a regular treble crochet. So you yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Luckily I have 7 more front post treble crochets to show you, so don't worry if you didn't get that. I will show you the other ones, because now we are going into the next stitch, which is right here. And what we do here in the back loop only, we are going to make 3 double crochets. So we are always alternating 1 front post treble crochet and 3 double crochets in the next stitch. So first we do the 3 double crochets. So you yarn over and make the 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3, all in the same stitch. And here we go, the next front post treble crochet. So you yarn over twice. Here was the stitch where we just placed the 3 double crochets on top. Here's the next one. So we take this and we go here in the side and pull it through from the back. Take the red yarn over our work, pull it through, and just finish it like a regular treble crochet, always yarning over and pulling through 2. And now we have the second front post treble crochet. Then we have our cluster of 3 double crochets in the back loop of the next stitch. So we go in there and make our 3 double crochets. And then again, who's excited about the next front post treble crochet? I definitely am. So you yarn over twice, you watch out for that next double crochet. Here's the one where we just had the 3 double crochets on top in the back loop. So here's the next one, and then we go in there with our hook and come up right after that. Take the yarn, pull it over, pull it through, and then finish it off like a regular treble crochet. And now we have 3. Then the next one, 3 double crochets in the back loop. 1, 2, and 3. And here we go. We yarn over twice. We watch out for that next double crochet. Pull the hook through behind it. Take the yarn, pull it over, pull the yarn through, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have 4. We are already halfway through. So up next, on top of the next double crochet, in the back loop, again we make our 3 double crochets. And then the next front post, yarn over twice, go around that next double crochet, put the yarn over your hook and the double crochet, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2 to finish it. And then again in the next back loop, 3 double crochets. I know that some of you haven't probably made front post double or treble or whatever, and this is why I'm showing this a little bit more into detail. I think it's super I think you can make super pretty things with front, and there's also a back post double crochet, and here I think it just worked perfectly to create this star and also this really awesome texture that you get with that 3D effect. And I mean, we are talking about Mariah Chickey, and you can't just make a simple granny square for the queen of chickmas, right? So we now have our last front post treble crochet, number 8. And now here we had our freestanding double crochet in the beginning, so we are going in that same back loop again and complete our cluster so that we have the 3 double crochets. So we make 2 double crochets in there, and with our first one, the freestanding one, we now have the cluster of 3, and here we have it. I think it looks super pretty and super Christmas and so festive, so I'm absolutely in love with it. And now we are going to do something a little bit different, but I will tell you in a bit. So you yarn over and pull it through, and then we cut the yarn and pull it through. We leave everything open because now we are going to crochet over it with our next color. And once we made it over it by taking the exact loops, we are going to just knot them in the back, and no one will see it where you started the round, because as I mentioned before, all the yarn ends will be hidden on the inside, so I'm cheating here. The guy that's always so picky about having like the cleanest things now cheats, but I think that's absolutely okay. So round number 2, this was it. Let's start with round number 3, and I'm taking the white. So for round number 3, we are going to make front post treble crochets into our treble crochets into our front post treble crochets from the previous round, and then we will have 2 double crochets in the first back loop, and then another front post treble crochet in the second of our double crochets that we had in between, and then 2 more double crochets. But of course I will show it to you. And we attach the color like we did it before with a freestanding double crochet, and first we make a slip knot, then yarn over, and then again try to find a spot, not a front post stitch, but one of the other ones. I'm just taking the one before that, and I will insert my hook into the back loop, yarn over, pull it through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2 to create our first freestanding double crochet. And now we can continue by making our next front post treble crochet in the previous one. So you yarn over twice, then you go underneath the previous front post treble crochet, pull the yarn over, pull the yarn through, yarn over again, and finish the treble crochet. And that also creates these overlapping color effects that I absolutely love for this project. And then we have the 2 next. In the first one, in the back loop, we make 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and then in the middle one of our cluster here, we make another front post treble crochet. Here it's very easy to get it. Like this. And in our next double crochet, which would also be our freestanding one, we go in the back loop. We go in the back loop and make 2 double crochets. Then we reach our next front post, so you yarn over twice. And then we have our next cluster. Again, in the first back loop, 2 double crochets. In the second double crochet, a front post treble crochet, and then in the last back loop, 2 double crochets. So here are the 2 double crochets in the back loop. Then the next front post treble crochet. And in the last back loop, 2 double crochets. And I will let you continue to finish the round all along until we reach back here, and then we will also going to take care of the open red end, but you will see this is super easy, my little cheating method, and it's so much fun because you don't have to sew in anything and you don't have to care about any of the yarn ends. Sometimes a double knot is just perfect, and I'll meet you once you're at the end of the round. So now I just made my last front post treble crochet. Now all I have left is here 1 double crochet in the same back loop where I placed the freestanding double crochet in. And then again, yarn over, cut it, and pull the yarn through, and leave everything wide open here, because now let's take care of the red yarn ends first. As you can see here, they are wide open, and what I'm going to do is to just make a double knot. One and two, and you don't see anything. I know. Not what I would usually do, not how I would usually do it, but I think for this beautiful Christmas pattern, and when you don't see what's happening on the inside, for me this is absolutely fine. And then I will just cut it off if it was too long, and the same I will do with the dark red. And we are good to go with the green round. And as I mentioned before, the green is again a fun round with changing stitches, and we will also have again the fabulous chicken leg stitch right here, which I think fits perfectly for the chickens. And I'm still super proud of this from round to square round, and I hope you like it too. And it's also going to be a little bit easier than the previous one. So for this one, we just want to make sure that we start the round again with a slip knot, and then just pick a spot, and we start, no matter where you want to, we start always one stitch after one of the main front post treble crochets. So here was one that goes all the way to the center, and then here we go into the top stitch. Now we are going to take both of the loops, you yarn over and start with a single crochet like this, and then we can start going all along, and the next one is an extended single crochet. So you go into the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through, yarn over, pull through just one, and yarn over and pull through both of the loops. Then we continue with a half double crochet in the next stitch. So you yarn over, pull through 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 3 loops. Then we continue with a extended half double crochet. So you yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull the yarn through, yarn over, go through just one, yarn over and go through all 3 of the loops. Then we continue with a double crochet. So you yarn over and go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we make an extended double crochet, yarn over, pull the yarn through 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2, and like that we are increasing the height 1 stitch at a time, basically, to later on create our square shape. And now we come to another double front post, and we are going to top it off even more, because now we are going to make a front post quadruple crochet in here. So you yarn over 3 times. I told you this round would be fun. Yarn over 3 times, so you have 4 loops now on your hook. And then we go on from the side of the white front post crochet stitch all the way through. Take the yarn over your hook, pull it through. You now have 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Like that we are able to go down but also go up because we are at the corner. And don't worry, I will show you this round in detail. And now we make the chicken leg out of this, and you yarn over, and now just twist the quadruple front post crochet stitch and try searching for something that is like almost on the height here of the previous stitches. And here we have the 2 loops on the side, and this is where we place a double crochet in. Then we chain 1, and then we make 2 more double crochets into that same side stitch here, or that side loop here. One, and 2. And here we go. Our chicken leg is done. And now we can go back. So you yarn over and we go into our next stitch, which sits a little bit behind our last front post chicken leg thing here, and you yarn over, and we make an extended double crochet into that stitch. So you go through one and then yarn over, pull through two, yarn over and pull through two, because now we are just going to reverse. So in the next stitch we make a regular double crochet, then an extended half double crochet, so 3 loops, yarn over, pull through one, then yarn over and pull through all 3 without twisting the yarn up like I did it. Here we go. Then a regular half double crochet, then an extended single crochet, and in the last stitch, which is also like the top of another stacked one here, we make just a single crochet. And like that we created our first corner, and I will show you another one so you get all the stitches right. So again, we start with a single crochet, then we make an extended single crochet. So whenever I say extended, always just pull the yarn through and then yarn over and just pull through one loop instead of how many other loops there are, and then finish the stitch like a regular stitch. Then we make a half double crochet, then the extended half double crochet, again yarn over and go through just one, 3 loops left, and yarn over and pull through all 3 of them. Then we have our double crochet and the extended double crochet, and here we go again, it's chicken leg time. So you yarn over 3 times, 4 loops on your hook. Try to keep it a little bit tight here, because if it's too loose you will not be able to get like all the stitches right. Then put your hook underneath that white part here, that stacked treble crochet from the previous round. Take the yarn, pull it over, and then pull it through behind the stacked treble crochet, behind the front post treble crochet, and then yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2 to finish that quadruple front post, and then twist again. Here you can see like all those sets of loops, and we are going to go into that middle one here, yarn over and go behind the 2 loops and make a double crochet. Holly is snoring again. Don't get bothered next to me. Then chain 1 and then 2 more double crochets into that same side space of the quadruple to finish our chicken leg. Here we go. Here's our chicken leg. And then in the next stitch, which is a little bit behind, you go into it and make an extended double crochet first, because now we are going reverse. Then a double crochet, then the extended half double crochet, then the regular half double crochet, then the extended single crochet, and last but not least the single crochet. And the end always ends at the top of one of our main front post crochet stitches. And now you have made already half of the circle a square with the green. So let's just continue. Single crochet first, extended single crochet, half double crochet, extended half double crochet, double crochet, and extended double crochet like this. Chicken leg time. You yarn over 3 times, go into the side, put the yarn over it, pull it through, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, through 2, and through 2, yarn over, twist it to the side to get underneath those side loops, then chain 1 and 2 more double crochets into that same space, 1 and 2, and then yarn over, and we go in there with an extended double crochet, and then a double crochet, then the extended half double, then the half double, then extended single, and then the single crochet on top of our front post treble crochet, and then we just have one last set. So we start with a single, then the extended single, then the half double, then the half double crochet, then the extended half double crochet, and now we just go over here, because here was our open part. Here's our next stitch, where we would place a double crochet in, and in the last one we have our extended double crochet. Now you can already see that you absolutely see nothing, even though it's still open here and it holds everything together. It's the magic of crochet, and of course the magic of Christmas. So yarn over 3 more times, go underneath that long front post crochet stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 4 times to finish it, yarn over, search for those 2 loops in the middle, and make a double crochet, chain 1, and back into that same space, 2 more double crochets, and then we have the extended double, and in the next the regular double crochet, then the extended half double, then the extended single, and miraculously there's just one stitch left, which will be a single crochet, yarn over, cut the yarn, the green we don't need anymore, and pull the yarn through. Even here we are going to leave this open, and first let's take care of the white yarn ends here, and again a double knot to close it, and bye bye yarn ends, cut them, and here we go. We went from circle to square with this super gorgeous Christmas design. I hate to say it, but I'm absolutely obsessed with this. Why are you so obsessed with me? Boy, I wanna know. And now we can go back to the red, and what we will do is we will do another freestanding, a half double this time to start a round, and the whole round will be half double crochets, and in the corners in each of our chain one spaces that we had here, we will make two half double crochets and a chain two in between, and this later on will also be the exact same space where we are going to put the eyes, because of course Mariah Chickey has to see everything. So we yarn over, and we just, you go where you want to go in one of the stitches and pull the yarn through. Now you have the 3 loops on your hook, and we are just going through all 3 of them to have our first half double crochet, and then in the next stitch we continue with the next half double, and so on. And here again the open stitch from the last round, we take it to the back. We are going to close it later on, and we are just going in the top of the next one with our next half double crochet, and so on. I will just show you the first corner, and after that you're good to go. No super complicated front post stitches anymore, so you can definitely do it without me. And there's just one, and now we are at this chain one space. To make it easy, I would just go from the top into it and have one half double crochet, then the second half double crochet, then we chain 2, and then in the same stitch again we make 2 more half double crochets, like this. And then what's important is that you always get the very first one, which is right here, which looks a bit weird. Don't miss it, otherwise your stitch count will be incorrect. And from there we continue, and I'll let you do it all along until we're at the end, and then the square is done. So I made it through. There's just one stitch left, which will be another half double crochet, And by now you should know what's coming. Yarn over, cut the yarn, and pull it through, because we are going to close that later on. But first, let's just close the green. And here we go. Now you can always stretch it out a little bit. You can also block it if you want to block it, but that is absolutely optional. I don't think it is really needed. And now we have our two squares ready. And what you can already do is that you can place them in a way where both of the final yarn ends that we had here are facing towards yourself, because this will definitely be our bottom of the chicken. And when we have them here, I will also show you how to easily know where to place the eyes, because we are going to place them here, and then we are just going to put them both together, but I will explain everything in the next step. Okay, so now it's time for the eyes, and for that I'm going to pick my little golden eyes here. And now, as I mentioned before, right here where we placed the corner of the red part, we can then easily put the eyes in. I think that's the perfect spot, and in there the eyes will definitely hold like this. And then for the other side, we are just going to place it here. And check those were the eyes. And now what we do is that we put the two squares together like this, and then we turn it, because now we are going to start going along on three sides. This side here we are going to leave open, because here's where we then add the filling, and which will be closed in the end like I had it here. And now I'm taking the white yarn again and start with a slip knot, and I will connect the two squares like I always connect my granny squares, by first getting in the back loop of the square in front, and then taking the back loop from the other square. And here we had like the chain 2, and we will just go in there, and the same thing we are going to do here with the other square. And now I'm going to grab the yarn. You can also put it on the other side, and then yarn over, and then first go through one of the red loops, then through the other one, and in the end we just slip stitch. I'll show it again. So in the back loop of the first square and in the back loop of the second square, and then we take the yarn through both of the loops. And this we do all along, because this always creates a super clean and super nice connection between the two squares, and you just go stitch by stitch. And once you reach, like I have it here, the part with the open yarn ends that are still there, like that, we are just going to put them on the inside and then just take the next back loop, which is somewhere here. This was too much. Here it is. Because anyway, this is later on going to be the bottom of our chicken. So if there are any things that are not so super pretty, you can always know that this is the bottom where the chicken sits. So it's not that important. But by sewing the squares together like we do it here, you don't see much of any mistakes or where you might have missed something. And this is how you go all along. I will just wait until I reach here the next open part, which comes right here. Here there's still one left. So always make sure to get them all. And then we go into the next. Here we can move it down. And here's the next one. And just make sure that you have like all the yarn ends in. You can also drag on them a little bit if they stuck out too much. And this is how you go along until you have 3 sides connected. And I will meet you once I'm there. And here we go. In the end, yarn over again. Cut the yarn and just pull it through. And here now you have your little chicken pouch. If at some point, I mean, here's a little golden part coming out. Make sure that everything you don't need on the outside is on the inside, including all the yarn ends. We leave the 2 yarn ends exactly where they are. Later on we are going to use them to put the chicken together. And now it gets sparkly with my little polyester thing here. And we start with the beak first. So for the beak, we take a look where the eye is and then go to the left. Here's the stitch on the side, and then we just go 3 down, 1, 2, 3. So in the end, here will be the beginning of our beak. And now we can just go in there with our hook underneath both of the loops, and then you place the yarn on your hook, pull it through, and I will also take the end yarn and pull it towards myself, then yarn over and first slip stitch so the yarn is secure, and then we are going to make a single crochet into the same stitch, And now we are going up. Basically, the next stitch is a double crochet into our next white stitch here. And then we are going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we are going to slip stitch in the back loop, in the second back loop. I know this might be very hard to see on camera. I'm really sorry for that. If you want to see it in more detail, it's the same way how I did the beak for my other granny square chicken tutorial. So if you want to check that, please do so. Now we yarn over again and then go into the same stitch and make a double crochet in there, and then for the last one we yarn over and go into the next stitch right here, and we make a half double crochet, and after that we are just going to slip stitch in the same stitch where we were. And now we can cut the yarn and pull it through. We can also cut the end yarn from the start, and then we take the yarn needle and we will just hide that second end yarn on the inside by just pulling it in. And here we go, the little beak. And now we can already continue with the comp. I'm using the gold again. And for the comp, we go, here we had like our center or our corner with the chain 2 spaces in between, and we are just going to this very first one, which is like the second after the last stitch that we used for the beak, and I'm going in there, and the beginning is the same. You pull it through, keep the yarn end towards yourself, and we slip stitch first, and then we are going to make a single crochet in there. So exactly the same thing how we made the beak. So now in the next stitch I want to make 3 treble crochets in, because I want to give this comp a little bit more height. So this was 1, so you yarn over twice, 2, and a third one, then we make a double crochet into the next stitch, and then after that a half double crochet, because now we are going down, and in the next stitch we start with a single crochet, and then from there we go up again with a treble, gosh, this polyester yarn is really difficult to work with. Definitely not something very exciting, just in case you were wondering. In the next stitch we make another treble, Then in the same stitch we make a double, and then in this next stitch a half double, and in the same a single crochet, and then we chain one and make our final set with a treble, and in the next stitch a double, and in the same one a half double, and then in the next stitch a single crochet, and we go in the same stitch again and make a slip stitch like that. And now we can cut the yarn, pull it through. We can also again cut our end yarn that we carried along, then the yarn needle, and we are just going to pull that yarn in there, and here's our little beak, the golden beak for the chicken with the golden voice. And now, since like most of it is done, we can start filling our chicken. And I will not fill it up too tightly. I will take care of the head a little bit, making sure that all the parts there are like filled. And of course I will just keep everything that is supposed to be on the inside on the inside. And let's see, something like this. And as you can see, you can barely see anything from the filling shining through, so this pattern is really very solid. And now what I'm going to do is to like just close the two parts here, make a double knot, and I will also just hide that piece of end yarn in there, and then I will decide if on some of those sides here and on the other side there should be a little bit more of the filling. Because as I mentioned, when you make it too stiff and fill it up too much, personally I think then it's just not looking very nice. And I think like this should be fine. Then we take our white yarn again, and we will start again by making a slip knot. And then I will simply find the center here or the middle part here, and I will just connect my yarn right there. And I will also take my end yarn towards myself, and I will just connect it, and then I will go one stitch to the next and make a single crochet connecting both of them and closing our chicken. And once I reach the part where like it goes over to the other side, I just chain one and then go directly into the next stitch to connect them. And when you're at the end, yarn over again and pull the yarn through. And we are just going to hide this last piece again at the inside of our chicken, where no one will see it ever again. And now you can always press it a little bit to shape it if you need to. Usually I always then also like flat out the bottom. And the chicken is almost done. Now the only thing missing is the feather tail, and for that I'm again using my favorite polyester. And remember in the bottom where we like put the chain one, it's right here, and this is exactly where we are going to put the feather tail by first connecting the yarn, and then we are going to chain 12, and then we go back into the same stitch, and we are just going to connect it with a single crochet if the polyester lets me. Then we are going to chain 18, and then in the same stitch again we connect it with another single crochet, and then we chain 12 again, and again connect it with a single crochet, and after that yarn over, cut the yarn, pull the yarn tight, and here's the little sparkly feather tail. And we are going to just put those last two yarn ends somewhere in and hide them in our chicken. And cut the rest. And the chicken, Mariah Chickey, here she is, ready to sing you a song or a full album of songs. I think she's just super pretty, super festive. I love the gold. I really do. It's so sparkly. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you were feeling our chickmas joy and chickmas moods coming to your house. And now you can really make yourself a Mariah Chickey, and have fun with it, enjoy it, make someone happy by gifting it to someone you love for Christmas this year. And it's still a few weeks away, but make sure to have the best Christmas season ever. Watch out for more Christmas tutorials on my channel. Subscribe so you don't miss them. And remember, the Christmas spirit will always live on as long as we have the Queen of Christmas and the Queen of Chickmas. Want to sing another song, Mariah, for the end?
Can't live if living is without you. Can't give, I can't give anymore.